Greetings, vloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty with the second half of this week's vlog. If you haven't been listening already, we are still in the snow mode here in Western Pennsylvania, so we are still using the snow background. Information on that is provided in the description. Additionally, I'm wearing the hashtag Autism at Work today, and information about that shirt will also be provided in the description as well. Furthermore, today, if you haven't followed the last vlog that I did for the other half of this week's vlog, we talked about sudden need changes, and it kind of led into self-care and why. And now I want to share with you for the next several moments why self-care is important and why self-care needs to be practiced per se. Um, I was never always I was like when I was into self-care, and I've always heard when people take self-care, it's their own definition. And it is. It really is your own definition of what self-care really is. And, it's very important to practice self-care, especially if you're working in a very toxic or burnout type profession. It's just very difficult sometimes when you can't, and especially with COVID going the way it is, and short staffing and changes and having to adapt to things. And being autistic, it even makes it even more compounding the understanding of the need to take self-care. I've had a job now for almost 12 years, it'll be 12 years in March. And part of that was the understanding that, having mental health and autistic challenges because of the work we do, not only because of the work we do, but to exemplify as a role model for those who want to go back to work, and for those that show that people with medical benefits can go back to work, is part of exemplifying self-care by taking one day a month and maybe a week every quarter. And it's not being lazy and it's not being selfish, but even working part-time can present its own challenges, especially if you have mental health and autistic challenges such as myself. So it's very important to do that. And I sometimes lack in that. And when I first did, it turned into a traumatic thing for other factors besides besides the the need for self-care, but it turned into other factors in my personal life, so that it just spiraled, and then COVID hit, and eventually I'm finally into the place where I know I need to practice self-care again and take care of myself, and why it's important. So self-care is defined by itself. It's caring for yourself basically, and includes anything you do to keep yourself healthy, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Uh, self-care might sound like common sense, and it might sound salvage too, but if you're considering longevity in the work that you do, or it's often the first thing we find ourselves in challenging situations, whether it's because of bad health, financial crisis, job loss, divorce, so on and so forth. And even during the COVID-19 pandemic, it's important to keep it on top of mind, and especially when we find ourselves in these challenging times. It is important because in a society we're expected to work long hours and pass on vacation days, there's an underlying belief that we must always be productive, myself included, which can ultimately take away from the opportunities for self-care. But by taking some time to engage in self-care, it might relieve the pressures of everyday life, and reset yourself to be in a healthy point where productivity again is maximized. Um, Considering the costs associated with mental health services, lost wages, and more, spending some time on yourself may benefit everyone around you. And I can see that because of burnout. It can be very challenging when everyone experiences burnout and does not take advantage of the opportunity of self-care. It destroys everyone. It tears everyone apart, and it can be hard on everyone. So, it's just very interesting. So burning the candle at both ends, so to speak, comes with significant consequences, but are not limited to burnout, depression, anxiety, resentment, and a whole host of negative implications. Engaging a self-care routine has been clinically proven to reduce or eliminate depression and reduce stress, improve concentration, minimize frustration or anger, and increase happiness, improve energy, and more. From a physical health perspective, self-care has been clinically proven to reduce heart disease, stroke, and cancer. Spiritually, it may help us keep in tune with our higher power and realize what our meaning in life really is. Some obstacles perhaps is the lack of time is one of the biggest obstacles. While many of us have a lot going on, it's imperative to take time out of every day for ourselves, even if minimally. Another great thing about self-care, it does not have to cost a thing, and even when you can even accomplish the convenience of your own home. For me, it's going to sleep, or it's getting catching up on some needed sleep, or just reading a book, or cleaning a room, or something, just something that needs to be done, that is very important. Taking care of yourself. Um, it's just perhaps some of the suggestions you had in the past did not work, but don't be disencouraged. You are encouraged to continue searching until you find your best fit. The catch, though, it must be done intentionally and consistently to have maximum impact. Even if you have 5-minute increments to spread throughout the day to engage in self-care, it is certainly better than nothing. Over time, you may significantly increase your overall health and well-being. Even if you are just beginning, there's there are results that may be realized almost uh, immediately. So when focusing how to take care of yourself, you should consider the SAMHSA 8 dimensions of wellness. And I'm going to start using that. I looked at it and they shared it with us recently, and I'm going to look at it one day. But it looks at 8 dimensions of wellness, and it includes environmental, emotional, financial, intellectual, occupational, physical, social, and spiritual. And these 8 dimensions, if kept in healthy balance, generally predict the higher levels of wellness. And we're going to go through this here in a second. For all of us, there is continued work to be done. Life is dynamic, and so are the dimensions of wellness. During challenging times, we must rely on our strong points to help us carry through. When too many dimensions are compromised, we find ourselves struggling to find it difficult to handle things we could have easily prevented in the past. Each of our plans look different, but some of these they're considered in the 8 domains that I'm going to list below, and they're free. You should feel free to modify, replace, consider on your own. Remember, it's about you. And the emotional ones is talk to someone, reflect, journal, read, do something artistic, listen to music, work out, take a walk, watch something that suits you, the mood, but does not oppose or change it, cry it out, laugh, hug someone, cuddle, take a nap. Environmental, take a walk, somewhere nice, breathe in fresh air, enjoy the sun, enjoy the night sky, avoid littering, pick up litter, reduce waste, use reusable products, recycle, clean out your house, or redesign a room. Financial, develop a personal financial plan, open a savings account, start saving, even if it's $1 per day. Try saving even more if you're already saving. Invest, cut back on unnecessary purchases. Consider where you can cut corners, avoid credit cards, ask for a raise. Intellectual, read, listen to audiobooks, watch documentaries, complete puzzles, be mindful of the world around you, become curious, try something new, tap into your creative artistic side, take a class, complete a program, graduate. Occupational, learn a trade, get your degree, train for a promotion, accept the promotion, put together your resume, uh, polish your resume, apply for the dream job, or take on a task you enjoy, or even open up your own business. Physical, work out daily, take a walk, eat healthy, get your annual checkup, see the dentist, take medications as prescribed, avoid drugs and alcohol, get 7 to 9 hours sleep, see the physician when you do not feel well. Social, meet up with friends, keep in contact with old friends, volunteer, go out, have fun, engage in healthy social media. exude positivity, utilize technology when distance is a factor, have a big laugh. Spiritual, meditate, pray, reflect, engage in yoga, visit a meaningful site, do right by others, be mindful, consider your higher purpose and meaning, look to higher power and support, love one another, help those in need. Self-care is an important activity and by to do every day. Doing so will lead towards a better balance in your dimensions of wellness and lead to overall improved quality health and wellness. Life is precious and is meant to be enjoyed. So I can tell you that I practiced self-care yesterday, and I tell you what, I feel, and even into today where I'm feeling a little more refreshed because I slept longer last night and I feel way better than what I did. And I can assure you that doing so, it was traumatic at first, is eventually a good thing to do. So, with that being said, I want to thank you for listening. Be sure to have a good weekend, everybody. Be sure to follow, to give a thumbs up on if you like this video or dislike. Um, Tap that notification bell for more notifications. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Be sure to like and follow on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Dustin's Dynasty, on the web at dustinsdynastyusa.com, on Pinterest and TikTok, where I'm now doing everyday TikToks at Dustin's Dynasty ASD. Um, you know, also, this vlog will be transposed into podcast at Dustin's Dynasty ASD on many platforms, including Spotify. With that being said, I want to thank you again for listening and be sure to have a good weekend, everyone.